morning, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Morning Craft and Chat, episode 3. We're just at the very beginnings of our craft and chats. And today I thought that I would work on some poinsettias. Last week I went with Loie up to their cabin, and we had talked about what we were going to do, and we decided to do just flowers because, I mean, there's an endless amount of things that you could do, and then for every one of those things you have to bring more stuff. So we thought we'd keep it simple and we would just work on different flowers. So we brought all of our flower dyes and all of the things to be able to build our flowers and create flowers. So I created a bunch of poinsettias. Now these are the Heartfelt Creation poinsettias. And this series came out last year. So we're going to be working with the large Festive poinsettia. And I have the die and the stamp and also the shaping mold for that. We also have the small Festive poinsettia, the small Festive poinsettia die, and also the small Festive poinsettia shaping mold is all what I used to create my flowers. And we'll go through and I'll do one with you here. So, and they also have the holly berry spray and the holly berry spray die that goes with that. So that's quite pretty. I didn't cut any of these, and I do not have the shaping mold for this because that to me is more of a flat. And I can also just use my Heartfelt Creations little pad and with the balls and stuff to give these some dimension too. So I wasn't too worried about those, having that to save some cost. I just didn't get that shaping mold. So let me set these aside. And so these are some that I created last weekend, and this is a copper. I don't know how good that's showing up, but it's very sparkly. Silver, and then we have a gold, and I cut some out of each, and also the little small sprays that come with the small set. So, and for our first, I'm going to be using just the American Crafts cardstock, and it's white, and this is 80 pounds, and it is a textured cardstock. So while we were up there, I realized that I forgot my stamping pad, my plates, my little things. I forgot, like these things. And I also have the Tim Holtz one where you can put your paper in, you put your stamps on it, and you just press it. It's like a little press. I have that too, but I forgot them. And we had stamps to use if we wanted to create these. Now you can create these without the stamps. Like this one was cut out, and then I just edged it with some Tim Holtz Ranger ink, distressed ink, and this is peacock feathers. So I just kind of smudged it along the edges with the sponge, and then when I misted it, it kind of wicked its way a little bit. So that's one way you can do it. You can just leave them plain. You can just smudge them. I also have some here that we're going to put together just as we sit and chat. And these stamped, but as you can see, they got smudged with the peacock feathers, as well as these ones also did, but they are not stamped. I do have some here from when I was working on a project that I did stamp, and that was in one of my Christmas ones last year. So those are stamped with a lighter green on like the light green paper there. So I think it was mint, I think is what it's called. So I said, well, we have to have something flat and preferably clear so we can see where we're stamping. And I said, so keep that in mind, if you think so. She says to me the next morning, she said, how about your Sizzix die cutting plates? I thought, I think she's got a great idea there. So it works. So if you're in a pinch and you don't have a press or a stamp thing and you have a die, you can use something like that. So just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get some embossing ink here. And I have the Tim Holtz Distress Embossing Ink. And so if you didn't want to do color, I'm going to show you how I did my glitter embossing. And those are Ranger. They're made by Ranger. And they are embossing tinsel. And I'll show you the container here in a second. So now if you don't, that was my first tip. My second tip is if you don't have one of the powder pads where you put that on so that your embossing stuff doesn't stick to your paper, you can use just regular cornstarch and a makeup brush and put it on there. Now this is the makeup brush I had handy, but you could use like one of the larger ones. So, but yep, so you do the same thing because that's basically all this is basically cornstarch inside of a bag. So that is tip number 2. You can use cornstarch to keep your stuff from sticking. So let me hit that one more time since I decided to chit-chat. It should stay wet, but just in case. All right. So we take that, and then you just press it down there. And I found if I go around the edges of the tips there, the thing about this is you can't see what's getting and what's not. So that's why we stamp before we cut on these. So I'm going to just use we'll use some of the gold tinsel. And I just sprinkle that on there very heavily, just like that. We're going to let that sit a little bit. And while that sits, I'm going to grab another piece of paper and pour that on. My fan is on low, so it's not moving any of it around. So then I'm just going to bring this in, and I'm going to pour this back in there as much as I can. I'm going to waste. And then I'll light. Oh, I can see where my pad jumped there. That's fine, because when we cut that out with the die, it's not going to. I'm going to lightly tap that. I don't want to take off too much of it. Yeah, you can see here and there where it jumped. Not a biggie. Once we cut that out, it's going to disappear. All right. Try to keep this contained here. And we had a really good time last weekend. From the time we got up in the morning till basically the time we went to bed, we just did worked on our flowers, cutting and putting them together and that kind of stuff. So we had a nice quiet weekend. We did go out to dinner Saturday night. Had a nice dinner. I had prime rib dinner. A local restaurant there. All right. Now, this is going to be a little noisy. I'm going to get my thing done, and I will pause this until I get to the point where it's ready to change up. As you can see, it just looks like glitter on there. And what's going to happen is my heat gun's going to melt that. So I'm going to get it started. Let it heat up here. And I know it's loud. I'm sorry. And quite often I'll just take it and I'll kind of just do under. Now I could get a lot more stamps on this one piece of paper, but I'm just doing it just to show you. Okay. I got it on high. And you want it nice and hot so you don't blow that glitter all over the place. And I'm going to just get it going here. And as soon as it starts to melt, it'll change from powdery looking And my heat gun, this one is an Paper Studio embossing heat tool. I've had it for years. I do have a heat gun that is more like a pro one. Okay, so now it's just starting to on a turn. Come on. All right. There we go. It's just starting to turn. It's real neat stuff because it stays so glittery. So let me shut this off a second and I can show you. Okay, so you can see the difference in the colors. See how this is kind of dark and this is more lighter? So that's what it does. All right, I'm going to pause a second. I'm going to finish that up and we'll be right back with you. Okay, so I've got that all melted down. See how shiny that is? Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so now we're going to take our, let me get this out of the way. We're going to take our die, and I will go over the numbers for these. And this one comes with a large leaf as well. We did not do that. Comes with a stamp and the die. So I'm going to do this. Oops, old plate. There's some really old plates. I have lots of new ones. So I typically get my plates at Hobby Lobby, and I wait until they're 40% off. And then I get a good deal on them. Okay. So then you just line up your dies. Now, I don't typically tape mine down, but you can. You can, but I just kind of watch and I'm real careful. You're just going to line those up like that. And so you could just stamp these with your whatever color ink you want on colored paper or white paper or whatever you want. And then make sure I have this. Yeah, I do. Okay. And then just die cut them out. If you don't want to buy the dies, you can always fussy cut them. But I've got other tutorials on my YouTube channel of other poinsettias. So there we go. And you can just do it once. You don't have to do it twice. These are very nice dies. Pop it out. And it comes with these berries already attached. I don't typically use the berries, but I don't throw them away either because they're already gone. See? And that cuts that out. So nice. Yeah. Now, if that little edge there bothered you, you could just come in with your scissors and trim that off. It does not bother me, but if it bothers you, you can come in with your scissors. Sorry. And just trim that extra off. It was just off a little bit. All right, so that's the big one, and then the two small. So the big one comes with two small ones, and the small one comes with two mediums, I want to say. Let me see if I can see those. Let me grab those back here a second. All right. Whoops. Got them all stuffed over there. Okay. So the large one comes with two small flowers. You see that? Two small flowers. The small one comes with the medium flower. I don't remember if it's two medium flowers. Yeah, this is what the small one comes with. Comes with a medium size, two medium size. Okay, and then that and the berries, of course. This one comes with the large and two small, and the large is 4 inches by 4 inches. The small ones are 3.5 by 2.5. That might be the two of them together. Let me see here. I can tell you. I got it right here. Let me see. So Yes, the small ones are going to be, I'm going to say about 2 1/8 inches wide each. Okay. And then the big one is, yeah, 4 1/8 inch on those. So that's the size on the back. That's the size of the dies all together. Okay. The whole die thing. All right. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way. So the large the large Festive Poinsettia is, the stamp is HCPC-3957. The large Festive Poinsettia die is HCD1-7358. The large Festive Poinsettia shaping mold is HCFB1-5007. And then the small Festive Poinsettia die is HCD17359. The small Festive Poinsettia stamp is HCPC3958. And the small 3D Festive Poinsettia shaping mold is HCFB1-5008. And then, of course, the Heartfelt Hollyberry Spray is HCPC-3959. That's the stamp. And the Hollyberry Spray die is HCD1-7360. And like I said, I do not have the shaping mold for this. Okay. So let's go ahead and get these dies out of the way here. And then we're just going to need the 2 plates. I'm going to get rid of my platform. Here we go. And then we're going to take the shaping mold, and this is the large one. Open it up, and I'm going to put it upside down, just like that. Now, it is exact if you want to play with it and find the exact, but I really don't. As long as it gets in there, I don't really care. And then you have the 2 small, like that. And then take my bottle of water, just a little misting bottle, and I give it a little spritz. Not too wet, doesn't have to be too wet. And you put this back together like so. And it almost is like you're not even going through it all. It feels like that it's not doing anything. This might get a little noisy. Now there's no platform. It's just going to go through here like so. Now if you want a heavier one, then go ahead and take a piece of paper. Here, let's see if I got a small piece of paper. Scrap paper maybe. And I'm just looking for a small piece of paper. Oh, this one might work. Here we go. So this is just some decorative cardstock here. I'm just going to slide that with that. If you want to make a little deeper impression, but it does make an impression without this. So, and you wouldn't think that would make that much of a difference. Sorry about the squeaky. There we go. Yes. So when you open it up, they are pressed and formed all for you. You don't have to mess them in. It does a great job. So, and they have all different kinds. So go ahead on there. And I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get anything from them. It's just they have a lot of nice tools like this. Even they have a basic one for like any flowers you cut out. So that is that. We'll go ahead and set those aside and get this out of the way. So what have you guys been up to? I haven't been up too much this week. We had Brooklyn's open house Thursday night. That was fun. Then we went out to dinner with her little buddy, her little playmate, and their family. So we did that. And just been kind of quiet weekend, just me and my husband, which is wonderful, of course. And so here are the silver tinsel. This is a silver tinsel. Okay, sorry about that. That was my son Mike, so I talked to him for a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and continue. So this is the embossing powder. It's gold tinsel. It's from Ranger Ink. And this one is EPJ41047. This is the silver embossing powder. And it's silver tinsel. EPJ60437. This is the copper tinsel. These are all Ranger. EPJ60420. So those are the ones I use for these flowers. And so I gave you the 2 tips. All right. Okay. So I think we're just going to kind of chat a little bit and maybe build some flowers here. And I usually take my colors and get them arranged. Maybe I'll show you a few that I built over the weekend. So looks like I just got a mix here. So maybe each of those sizes. And I like to use my glue gun for flowers usually. If they're smaller, then I don't use my glue gun. I just use my my regular art glitter glue or whatever glue you want. Does not have to be a glue, hot glue. Okay. So we've got those. I'm just gonna put a couple of those on. Okay. Set these aside. All right. So I have my little gun and my big gun. So this one is hot already. So yeah, so I just start gluing them together. Put a little hot glue there. Now, if you're gonna like want to put a hole through to add some different embellishments, then you're probably going to want to not use a lot of hot glue, because that kind of creates a little bit harder spot. Here is the Felt Creations Flower Shaping Kit. They have a smaller one, but when I was buying mine, the difference in the price between the smaller one and the bigger one wasn't that much, so I just decided to go with the bigger one that they had. So, and today I'm not going to be poking holes in them. So, and I just offset them just like that. But yeah, so we had a great weekend and chatted. And then I just take it, and then this is the largest, not the largest ball, it's the second largest ball, and I just kind of press it. This one's nice because you can have 2 balls at the same time. You can have one on each end and then magnetize. So if you wanted to do that like that. Yeah. And then if you want to kind of bend the ends a little bit, you can kind of shape them. And then I like to use the these are just like the little balls you get in the craft stores, or Dollar Tree sometimes carries the different colored ones. I think for this, or you could use like little bells. So this one's copper, so you could like maybe put a couple of copper bells in. Pearls, which are just white pearls, or some of your decorative pieces there you could put in small. You could half-back pearls, whatever you want. Here's some of the frosted berries. Look good. I think for this one, let's see, let's do, what do I want to put in there? How about one of these? Oops, sorry about the plastic sound. I don't like them. These were just from a dollar store in my house. Let's go with the, or you could go with, let's see if I can get to it here. These are from Hobby Lobby, so just the, and this is from the jewelry department. Maybe, yeah, just some of these gemstones here like that. Like a clear one like that. Could use something like that. I think maybe, let me see. These are just copper bells, so maybe a copper bell in the center. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue in the center there and sit that bell right in there. Just like that. Oh, see, that's pretty. So yeah, you can use just about anything in the center, or you can use the ones that come with it. Could use those. I'll put those bells back in there. And we'll just start good. We'll just keep moving. A little bit of hot glue. This one will be a thicker one. Okay. A little bit thicker one. See, this one didn't get very good embossing, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Like I said, it doesn't take a lot of hot glue. It's just very light paper. So we'll go through these, and then I'll show you some of my other things. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, or if there's something you want to work on Sunday mornings, and go ahead and just let me see what I can do. See what I can do. It looks a little off center. There we go. I just press really hard. Now, if you do those when they're wet, of course, it bends a little bit easy, but I'm not going to wet them all down to do that. Just put them together. Yeah, a little off center, but that's all right. So if you get one that's off center like that, then what you can do is when you have a couple of them built, I'm going to just do it another one. Where did I set that flower? Anyway, once a couple are built, then you can disguise that by, bringing another one in. So that's off center. I can see that this side is shorter. So I would just bring in another flower, and then that disguises that like that. So do a gold one. Oh, here it is. So you could bring this one in and disguise that. And then you can also have another one. So you can make these whatever size you want. So the bigger you go, then you can just do small ones. In fact, I've got some small ones ready here. And let me just do a couple small ones of the paper one. So yeah, so I don't know. I got Brooklyn starts school Monday, and then she'll have school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, all the kids start. The boys start Monday too, and then they have Friday off and Monday off because of Labor Day weekend. So he'll be back here. All right, so let's see here. What do we want to add to this? And so got these come off of a pick. Those might look cute in there, or just the gold balls. So what I do with these little ones here is I put my glue in like so, and then I just throw 3 of them in there, just like that. Those look nice. Do that with silver. I like doing that. These are easy. And they look like the berries too, because they have that kind of berry. So just like that. So, and so that's what we worked on. And let me get some of these, and I'll show you that you can just make small ones too. So like these are just like the 2 of the medium size and then 2 of the small. So you can create a flower with just those. And it makes for a nice, so you get a variety of sizes to use in your layouts or whatever you want. I use my flowers in all different kinds of things. So, and if you haven't watched any of my other videos, go ahead and click on the video link at the top of the page, and that'll bring up all my different videos. Yeah, and then you could just add, here we got some, this is a bag of mixed ones, and this was out of a weird shaped ornament that I got in one of those Michael's grab bags. So I just took those out and tossed the ornament and took the berries out. So just put those in there, just like so. And then you've got a tiny little flower. So, yep, so you can just get these together however you want. You can do like all silver, all gold, get tiny ones. So let me go ahead and show you some of the ones we've worked on this past weekend. If I can locate them. It should be right here, pretty close by. All right, here we go. Let me grab a little sip of my coffee. So here are some of those other things that I have previously cut out. And as you can see, they're stamped. Some more flowers. So that's what those look like. They're nice size. So you can see put it in the palm of my hand. That's a nice size cutout. You could also use something like these. These are also from the jewelry department. And they just got the little sparklies in. This was Hobby Lobby, I think. No, maybe not. No. It doesn't look like Hobby Lobby. Oh, it is Hobby Lobby. Okay. $3.99. So I'm sure I didn't pay $3.99. So here's one I put together, and this, of course, is a different shaped flower. But this is like Halloween themed. So you can see the 2 that are kind of a bigger size and then the smaller one. So we did that. And I put together a bunch of these ones like that. And these were done in in one of the other shaping molds. And of course I had a bunch of Sizzix poinsettias that I put together, and all I got to do is add my berries to those. Here's some daisies that I put together. Now these daisies were cut out of my Cricut. So I just found my daisies and I just filled the whole page with daisies and just cut. And you can just put them together. Some only got a couple layers, some got 3-4 layers. So however thick you want your daisies. And then those just have little half-back pearls in them. There's just 2. There we go. So yeah, these are all just different poinsettias there. Okay. And then here is a couple of the other poinsettias that I've hatched together. This one doesn't have any berries in it, but here's one with the smaller spray. So yeah, so that's what we did. You can even cut, like this one is cut out of silver here. Isn't that pretty? So, yep, just all kinds of different flowers. That's what we worked on. Now, a lot of these were already cut out for me, and then I just sat and put together flowers. So, I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. So as always, I wish you and your family many, many blessings, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.